How's it going, Diablo player? So since I made the Andariels Ice Shards builds, I pretty much have all the gear I need to make a Chain Lightning Andariels build, and there you have it. So this Andariels Chain Lightning build doesn't really focus on the Andariels damage so much. It can get ticks up to 200 million of Andariels, but I'm really not focusing on it, so I'm not playing Fist of Fate, and I'm not playing crazy high lucky hit chance bonus here. I rather focus on the Chain Lightning damage and the combo with the Starlight aspect and the Andariels Visage, which gives us crazy amount of life and mana regeneration. This build is very, very tanky. You're gonna pretty much be fine doing Infernal Hordes Tier 8 and also Tier 7 on farm state, no problem. But it's also killing all kinds of Tormented bosses or Uber Lilith in seconds, as you can see right now. So that's already it for the short introduction. Check the description down below for all the sections of this guide and also all my other build guides, and the link to the planner is there, of course, as well. In this guide I have a Tier 7 Hordes, a Tier 8 Hordes, I have Uber Lilith and Uber Duriel, and I have a Tier 120 Pit for you. So without further ado, let's go into the skill tree. For the skill tree, we put 2 into Firebolt for the Firebolt enchantment, then we put 1 into Devastation and 3 into Elemental Dominance. We are going to be above 50 mana all the time. Then we max out Chain Lightning into Greater Chain Lightning. We don't really need the Crackling Energy, so we want to do as much damage as possible. Then just 1 into Teleport, into Shimmering Teleport for the damage reduction. And we do Ice Armor into Shimmering Ice Armor. If you want to do pit pushing, you might change this to Mystical Ice Armor, but we don't have the greatest amount of cooldown reduction. So Shimmering Ice Armor really helps to keep your barrier up. And then we put 3 into Glass Cannon and 1 into Elemental Attunement. Then 1 into Align the Elements, 3 Mana Shields, 3 Protection, pretty basic stuff. Max out Precision Magic, Ice Blades into Summoned Ice Blades, Lightning Spear into Invoked Lightning Spear, and we max Conjuration Mastery. Then we put 1 into Inner Flames, and we also max Devouring Blaze, so we're pretty much going for all direct damage passives here. Then just 1 into Static Discharge, it's enough for the Charge Glyph Crackling Energy bonus here. And then I have 1 into Permafrost, 2 into Hoarfrost, I just don't have another point yet. And I feel like this is the least loss of all I could take here. And then we go for Unstable Currents into Supreme Unstable Currents. We use this because we play the Overflowing Energy, and it just gives us a little bit more hits from the Crackling Energy. And then 1 into Causing Currents and 3 into Electrocution for the extra damage reduction. For the skills, we do Ice Blades and Ice Blades enchantments, so really for the maximum amount of cooldown reduction and also the synergy with Conjuration Mastery. Teleport mainly for the damage reduction here. Lightning Spear again for the Conjuration Mastery pretty much, and for the stun. Then we have Unstable Currents here. Obviously we want to have as much attack speed as possible, and it also spawns extra Lightning Spears, which give us extra damage with Conjuration Mastery as well. Chain Lightning is our main attack skill, so we spam this all the time. And then we have Ice Armor, and with the Shimmering Ice Armor we can basically spam this like every 1 or 2 seconds. So this is our only real barrier generator, so you really want to spam this on cooldown, because if you're getting out of barrier, you're gonna die. And then again for enchantments, Ice Blades enchantment here for the cooldown reduction, and Firebolt enchantment is simply necessary in this build since we scale a lot of critical strike damage. We kind of need Firebolt enchantment to work with our Devouring Blaze and also our Flame Feeder Glyph. For Helm, we're gonna play Andariel's Visage, and you want a double crit attack speed, and the other crit is best on all stats or life on hit, but you know, double crit attack speed is the most important here. Then we play a regular chess piece with the Snowveiled aspect. This is gonna give us permanent unstoppable and 25% damage reduction since we cast Ice Armor all the time. We wanna have Intelligence, Maximum Life, and Armor, and we temper Maximum Life and Chance to Freeze. If you are like bossing, you can definitely switch in Raiment of the Infinite. As long as you don't need the armor, you will be fine with Raiment here. Then for our gloves, we're gonna play Intelligence, Vulnerable Damage, Chain Lightning. You can definitely use Crit Chance instead of Vulnerable Damage, or Crit Chance instead of Intelligence. I feel like I don't need it because I'm at roughly like 92%. But it depends on your other crit rolls. If the crit rolls on your Starless Skies or on your Focus are not so good, you can definitely switch in for like a Crit Chance on your gloves as well. Then for our pants, we play Axial Conduit. I have a Greater FX Chain Lightning and a Greater FX Resource generation, and I triple critted. So you want a double crit Resource generation, and the other crit probably on Chain Lightning, or, you know, chance for Chain Lightning to cast twice. Damage reduction, really not so important here. And you obviously want to have a high explosion damage, so you want to get as close to those 22k as possible. Then for our boots, we play Asus pretty much only critical strike damage and close to 40% matters here. For weapon, we just play Intelligence, Maximum Life, Vulnerable Damage, and we temper Vulnerable Damage and Chain Lightning Projectiles to cast twice. And we play Shredding Blades. Ideally, you want to hit Chain Lightning Projectiles to cast twice with Tempering, and the other one pretty much doesn't matter at all. Then for our focus, you want to have Intelligence, Crit Chance, Cooldown Reduction, and again, Tempering for Chain Lightning Projectiles to cast twice, and you want to have Vulnerable Damage. I have Critical Strike damage here because I don't have another focus, but you definitely want to have Vulnerable Damage. And you want to temper 2 times Cooldown Reduction, 1 times Crit ideally. I mean, I have this 3 times Cooldown Reduction, so I'm gonna take this, but this is not optimal. Then for our rings, we have a Tal Rasha ring. You want a double crit cooldown reduction, and ideally you want to have greater FX cooldown reduction because, you know, the ring and the focus is really the only thing which is giving us cooldown reduction in this build. And you want to have max roll non-physical damage. So if you have a low roll non-physical damage, you're not going to have 100% bonus on your Frigid Fate glyph. So we're going to get to that in the Paragon section. So really try to have 100% non-physical damage here. Then for our Starless guys, you want a double crit chance, and the other one is pretty much doesn't matter. You can go anywhere. Core skills is probably the best here. And you don't have to play Starless guys. You can play a regular ring, but I recommend to do Starless guys. It just gives so much crit and attack speed. It synergizes very nice with this build. Also the core skills here. Then and for our amulet, so you can play triple passive if you want. So if you have Conjuration, Glass Cannon, Devouring Blaze, go ahead and play it. You want to have Unstable Currents cooldown and, again, Vulnerable Damage. I have crit damage here, again. And you're going to play the Starlight aspect. Unfortunately, we have to put it on our amulet. So the other option would be play a regular ring with attack speed and crit and put the Starlight aspect on the regular ring. And then you would have room for the Stormswell aspect on your amulet. But it feels better this way. I just like to play it this way. So you don't have to play a triple crit. You don't have to play a triple passive amulet. If you only have a double passive amulet, you know, you can go Conjuration Mastery, Devouring Blaze, and cooldown reduction, or Conjuration Mastery, Glass Cannon, and cooldown reduction. Both are going to work just fine. So what breakpoints do we want to reach to make this build function? First of all, we want to reach 94.4% attack speed to reach 22 frames per attack with Chain Lightning. So as you can see, I have 83.9, so we're going to play the Elixir of Advantage too. So we're going to have 98.9, so more than enough. That's why attack speed is not super important on this build, because you're going to get it from Andariels and from Ring of Starless Skies, and that's pretty much all attack speed you're going to need here. Then the second breakpoint is critical strike chance. So you want to be upwards of 90% here. So I have 62.3, and as soon as I dash with my aces, you can see it goes to 92.2. So I'm technically missing 7.8% crit chance, which is not perfect, but I don't have the best roll. So you would need like 1 greater affix on your focus, or like 2 rolls on your focus, like 2 masterworking crits or something like that. If you are low on crit, you can definitely switch either intelligence or vulnerable damage from your gloves to another critical strike chance roll, and you're going to be at 100%. And then, last but not least, we have cooldown reduction. So cooldown reduction is important for this build. You want to have as much as possible. Try to reach upwards of 35%, I would say. So I have a Tal Rasha ring with greater affix and 2 crits, and I have this triple crit focus, so I guess double crit focus is good enough. But you really want to have 2 greater affix cooldown reduction on your focus and your Tal Rasha ring. If you don't have these, so if you just have regular affixes, you know, just don't play the triple passive amulet. Just get another cooldown reduction roll on your amulet, and you're going to be absolutely fine. For the Paragon, we put in our Tactician Glyph here to get non-physical damage. So we need all non-physical damage we can get to max out our Frigid Fate legendary node. That's very important here. Then first board is going to be the Enchantment Master. Again, we picked the non-physical damage nodes here and put in our Elementalist for even more non-physical damage. Then we go to the Burning Instinct board. We put in our Destruction Glyph here and just get the damage reduction nodes on this board. So this board is pretty basic stuff. Then we go over to our Elemental Summoner node. We want to pick the elemental in a summoner because it really helps with getting more conjurations out, so it helps with Ice Blades and Lightning Spear cooldown here. We put in our Conjurer Glyph for even more conjuration duration, again just to synergize with Conjuration Mastery, and we pick up all these maximum mana nodes here. They really help a lot with sustaining more Chain Lightnings at a time. The next board is our Frigid Fate board. So I only have 55% because my Tal Rasha ring has a min roll non-physical damage. If you have a good roll non-physical damage on your Tal Rasha ring, this is going to go to 60. We pick up the damage reduction here, and we pick up the charge glyph here for 15% more damage. Then first, we're going to go down here to the Static Surge board. We want to go here first because we're going to pick up this extra 15% damage to stunned here, and we're going to pick our Control glyph for even more damage. Then next spot is going to be the Searing Heat. We just pass through here with our Exploit glyph for more damage. And last but not least, Ceaseless Conduit. We put in our Flame Feeder glyph here for even more damage, and that is pretty much it for the Paragon board.